Module 5. Helping children to share engagement in play and home routines. Welcome to the 5th module of this course. This module will help you to learn and apply tips for better shared engagement in routines with your child. In this module, you will learn how to create play and home routines that you can do every day with your child, connect with your child and share engagement in routines, and keep your child interested in the shared activity. Lesson 1. Home Practice Review. In the previous module, you prepared for your home practice. Let's review how it went for you and your child. Write your answers in your journal. Which activities did you try? What methods of praise did you use? What good things happened? What did not go as you wanted? Why? Which things can you try next time? Remember that creating a safe and positive space, offering choices, and removing distractions make activities easier. Everyday activities that your child already likes are the best activities for engaging your child. Please pause the course here to write in your journal before continuing. Lesson 2. Shalini's Story. Using Play and Home Routines. My name is Shalini, and I live with my husband and family in a small fishing village. We have 3 children, Rashmi, Dinesh, and Viran. My youngest son, Viran, is a different child. He is now 5 years old, but he is different from other children of his age. My other children would often try to play with Viran, and sometimes they would get upset when he did not play. At other times, they would ignore him, which made me feel sad for Viran. While my eldest daughter and son would play imaginative games together with the toys, Viran seemed to be content to spend a lot of time lining up household things in rows on the floor. Over time, I learned that playing together is an important way that Viran can connect with me, but I did not know how to play with him at first. Then I learned how to play with him so we could really play together. At first, I felt pretty silly, and I wasn't sure what to do. It has been a long time since I was a child. In the past, I would try to play pretend, but he did not seem to understand that. Viran loves building things. Now I know that the way to play is to look and listen to find out what he is interested in. I can imitate what he does with the toys, or I can show him a new appropriate way to play with a toy. Over time, I found ways to engage with Viran in play and to start having fun in our shared playtime. I also learned that I can use the same strategies that I use in play to build routines in other daily activities. I have made routines where I look and listen for Viran's communication and his actions. When we wash dishes, I let him go first. He starts to wash a dish, and then I can imitate him and show him a word, wash. When we come home from the market, Viran likes to help me unpack the bags. He takes an item out of the bag, and then I can imitate. I show him words like take out and bread that I want him to learn to say on his own. We go back and forth until all the items are out of the bags. This is our grocery routine. Sometimes Viran still gets stuck looking at something or lining things up in a row on the floor. When this happens, I show him a new way we can build towers, and many times he starts building again. Sometimes he still suddenly gets very frustrated when I try to show him another way to play, and he pushes me away. This means he is tired or wants to stop, so we take a break or try something different for a while. I know it is important that play should be fun and enjoyable for him. Understanding routines. In this section, we will introduce you to the structure of routines and how you can use them at home to engage with your child. Key Message 1. Build play and home activity routines to help your child learn and develop. A routine transforms play activities or daily household activities into learning opportunities. A routine is a play or home activity that the adult and child do together. You and your child are partners in the routine, with each person having an active role, made up of a set of clear small steps that make sense and make up a story, and restarted and repeated many times in the same way in order to help your child have fun and learn the steps. In this example, the adult and child are engaged in a routine. They have made a game out of making a drink. The father pours some powder into a pitcher of water, and his daughter stirs it with a spoon. He pours a little bit of powder at a time so they can go back and forth. As they do the steps, he names their actions by saying, pour, when he pours the powder, and stir, when she stirs the drink. They go back and forth like this several times. Remember that building play and home activity routines helps your child spend time in shared engagement and learn new skills. You can build routines when you play and when you do other everyday activities. Routines are the basis for sharing engagement and learning new skills. Next, we will see an animated video that will show how putting groceries away with a child can be made into a routine. Remember that a routine is an activity that the adult and child do together. The adult and child are partners, and each person has an active role. A routine is made up of a set of clear, small steps that make sense. A routine can be restarted and repeated many times in the same way.
It's time to put the groceries away. Mary waits for Neil to take an item out. He does not, so she shows him how. She takes out an object, puts it on the table, and names it. We call this show and say. Apples out.
Biscuits.
Yes, biscuits out. Rice out.
Soap.
Corn out.
Ideas for home activities that can be used to create routines. These are some examples of everyday activities that can be used to engage children in routines. Cleaning up after meals, unpacking groceries, hanging clothes to dry, watering plants, feeding animals, making the bed, sweeping, meal times, bath time, getting dressed or undressed, taking off shoes, and washing hands or face. What other activities can you add? Write your answers in your journal. Please pause the course here to write in your journal before continuing. Lesson 3. Ways to play. Next, you will hear about examples of play activities and different ways to play. Look and listen to find out how your child plays now, your child's way to play. It is important to know your child's ways to play because knowing how your child plays will make it easier to play together. Ways to play that are too easy can be boring. Ways to play that are too hard can be frustrating or too difficult for the child to understand. If you play the way your child does, this helps the child to develop play skills and share engagement when you play together. There are different ways to play. We will spend some time explaining people games, simple play with objects, put together play, early pretend play, and advanced pretend play. As we learn about the different ways to play, think about how your child likes to play. People games. Examples of people games include swinging or chase games, clapping, singing a song, or playing peekaboo. Simple play with objects. Examples of simple play with objects include rolling a ball, pushing a toy along the ground, shaking, banging, or dropping objects, bouncing, throwing, or kicking a ball back and forth, rolling a ball or car down a ramp, dropping objects into a bowl of water, or using a cup to scoop and pour water, or turning the pages of a book. Put together play. Examples of put together play include stacking cups or blocks on top of each other, putting objects inside a box and taking objects out of a box, building something out of blocks, boxes, or containers. For example, a house, village, or tower. Throwing balls into a bucket, then dumping them out and restarting. Putting toy animals, people, or cars into containers. Stacking cups, bowls, or plates. Or stacking books or building something out of books. Early pretend play. Examples of early pretend play include pretending to do a familiar action, like sleeping, eating, or pouring a drink into cups. Starting to use dolls and animals. For example, putting animals together in a farm or feeding a doll. Giving a doll a bath in a bowl of water. Putting people or animals in cars and driving them somewhere. Using cups, bowls, or plates to pretend to eat or drink. Pretending to pat a picture of a cat in a book, or pretending to feed a picture of a baby in a magazine. Advanced pretend play. Examples of advanced pretend play include pretending that dolls and animals are alive, as if they are walking, talking, eating, or sleeping. Pretending to be someone else, such as a mother cooking a meal for the family. Pretending that objects are something else. For example, a stick is a plane. Pretending a doll has life. For example, the doll is swimming, finding treasure, talking to other dolls, or driving a car. Pretending blocks or balls are something else, such as food, cars, or animals. Or pretending to be characters from a book, or using toys to act out the story. It's also possible to play with books or pictures. Examples of playing with books or pictures include the adult names the pictures and the child looks or points at them, or the adult tells the story and points to the pictures. Or the adult and child take turns talking about each page of the story. Your child's way to play. What is your child's way to play? Choose one. People games. Mainly likes to play with people, but not toys or other objects. Simple play with objects. Likes to bang, shake, push, roll, or drop objects. Put together play. Likes to stack, build, or put objects into containers and take them out. Early pretend play. Pretends to do familiar actions with toy animals or dolls, such as feeding them, putting them to bed, or driving them around in cars. Advanced pretend play. Pretends dolls or animals have life and are talking and doing activities. Pretends things are something else. In your journal, write your child's ways to play. Please pause the course here to write in your journal before continuing. Play and your child. Key message 2. Find out how your child likes to play and show her or him new ways to play. Your child may need your help to learn how to play. By playing with you, the child will learn how to play in more complex ways over time. This means that you should play in the way your child plays now. At times, you show the child how to play in a more complex way, the child's next step. Ideas for ways to play. Try to pick play and home routines that are similar to what your child likes or does already. You can play in the same way with new materials. For example, If your child enjoys simple play with objects and likes to bang a block with a stick, you can bang a cup with a stick. You can also play in a new way that is not too difficult with the same materials. For example, if your child likes to take things out of a box, you can show her or him how to put things inside a box. It is okay to play people games with children of all ages and abilities. The games can become more complex as children grow. When you show your child new ways to play, your child will have the opportunity to remain motivated and not frustrated, continue to practice her or his current play skills, learn more complex play skills, the child's next step. Children can practice communication skills and other new skills during play. Your child may need your help to learn how to play with the objects first. In your journal, write down a few ideas of how you could show your child new ways to play. Remember that you should play in the way your child plays now. At times, you show the child how to play in a more complex way. Please pause the course here to write in your journal before continuing. Home Practice Plan. After learning about how your child plays, it's time to prepare for your next home practice activity. Follow the tips below and remember to take notes in your journal. Choose one home routine and one play or game routine that you will do with your child or involve your child in. You can choose one of the same activities you did before or two new activities. Pick routines you will try to do every day. Plan to spend 5 minutes with your child for each routine. Remember to practice the tips from this session. Build play and home activity routines to help your child spend time in shared engagement and learn new skills. You should play in the way your child plays now. At times, you show the child how to play in a more complex way, the child's next step. Please pause the course here to write in your journal before continuing. Module 5 Summary. What you learned. Build play and home activity routines to help your child learn and develop. A routine transforms play activities or daily household activities into learning opportunities. A routine is a play or home activity that the adult and child do together. You and your child are partners in the routine, with each person having an active role made up of a set of clear small steps that make sense and make up a story, restarted and repeated many times in the same way in order to help your child have fun and learn the steps. Find out how your child likes to play and show the child new ways to play. Children can practice communication skills and other new skills during play. Now we will see an animated video that will review what we have learned.
You can find many opportunities to engage your child in shared activities, not only play. It's time to put the groceries away. Mary waits for Neil to take an item out. He does not, so she shows him how. She takes out an object, puts it on the table, and names it. We call this show and say. Apples out.
Biscuits.
Yes, biscuits out. Rice out.
Soap.
Corn out. Mary is turning an everyday home activity into a routine that engages Neil. A routine is an activity that a caregiver and a child do regularly, made up of small steps which can be repeated. Next, Mary will try to build on the routine to make the activity last longer. She'll go right into putting items in the pantry, with Neil using show and say. She shows him what to do and uses language to describe her action. rice in tea in. All done.
Done.
Mary notices that Neil stops being engaged in the routine, a sign that he may become dysregulated. So she decides to wrap up the activity. By doing this, she is preventing challenging behavior. How do you use everyday activities to engage your child? That's right. You can use everyday activities to engage your child by 1. Notice what your child is interested in. 2. Remove distractions and make a safe place to interact. 3. Be in front of and at your child's eye level. 4. Praise your child. 5. Imitate your child, take turns, and enjoy the activity. And 6. Use show and say to describe your actions. As you practice this skill together, you can build on this routine to help your child learn new things. Thank you. See you next time.
Thank you for completing this module. Please answer the module quiz and complete the feedback survey. After 4 or 5 days of practice with your child, you will be ready to go on to the next module. Remember to practice self-care as well. You can continue with the self-care activities you are already doing, or try something new before you start the next module. See you then!